in sports, if you don't get better every single day, every game, every practice, you lose your job. Right.
Yeah.
But in business, it's not always that way. Right. In business, you don't really have to get better every day or you're going to get fired. Now, though, 7 years in the league, you still stack one great day on after another. You still get better every day. Is it the same mindset, the same approach that has gotten you there that you deploy now? Has anything changed?
A lot's changed, but the fundamentals of how I got there haven't. And so what I mean by that is I've continued to try to find places where I can progress myself. Football has been one of those. Real estate was another one. My foundation, my app. I'm in the speaking world now. I have a show. Like, all these things are different opportunities that have been presented to me where I'm like, let's see if I can continue to push myself in that avenue. And like I said, the fundamentals of how I've gotten there and how I go about it haven't changed. And so I continue to start small and then build it up and see if we can continue to scale and continue to make more of an impact.
Yeah.
And so I think, you mentioned it's not necessarily the same in business. It just depends on what point in that business you are, because if you're a founder, then it 100% is the exact same. Because if you're not getting better and you're continuing to progress or continuing to innovate, someone else is going to. If you're not continuing to learn, to connect with new people, to help you push yourself past the limits that you're at right now, you're going to be stuck. And if you're stuck in business, that means you're going down. Or at least not maintaining. And so there's a lot of transferable skills that go into the business world. I just spoke at a finance and real estate conference, and we were speaking on how the market is really slow right now. Money's getting more expensive. People are less inclined to go out there and put their house on the market because they don't want to have to go. They have the pressure pushing down. People don't want to buy. People don't want to sell. There's portfolio loans that are coming due because of different debt to income ratios that are thrown out of whack. So there's this time in the real estate market where there's like this unease and there's like this stagnation where nothing's really happening, and it's like, okay, what's about to happen? And so I was speaking there. It's like, it's really transferable from my story where it was like, I'm in high school. There's different levels. I'm in high school. I'm putting all of this work in. I have no idea what's going to happen, but guess what? I'm putting so much work in, and guess what? No D1, no full ride, none of that ever happened. And so for me, it was like, well, is it a failure? No, I had this one little tiny opportunity. Okay, that's something. That's something. Awesome. That's like the same thing in the business world, right? You put all this effort in, and as long as we're able to inch forward, we went forward, right? You're not always going to get that big cut and break and then go up to the NFL level. You don't go from high school to the NFL.
You're always not going to get a perfect hole at the line. I got to keep going. Yeah, man. So, that's right.
Like, whatever win we can take, I'm jumping on it, because times sometimes get tough. Yeah, if we can take a big win, that's great. That's amazing. That's really rare, but that's amazing. A lot of times it's a lot of tiny, small wins, right? Dinking and dunking up the field in football, 5, 10, 15-yard gains. Every once in a while you get that 40-yard gain.
Yep. What's your, you're going to have tough days, tough games, tough plays. What's your approach to recovery? Get me inside of your mindset around recovering from adversity.
Yeah, I'm extremely hard on myself. Because if you're not going to hold yourself to the higher standard, then no one else is. Let me back up. No one's going to hold you up to a standard. It is you. Unless there's an expectation that, hey, you need to go out there and perform at this level, then in my opinion, you should be wanting to perform above that, because if you're just trying to perform to that expectation, that's already a failure in my mind. If you're just trying to check the boxes, you're setting yourself up to be in a position where you're kind of stuck and just checking the boxes and trying to get by. And in my mind, where I'm trying to progress, just getting by is never good enough. You try to maximize, and you do that for yourself and the people around you, and you owe it to yourself and the people around you to try to maximize your capabilities, because that is why you're on this earth, in my opinion, is to try to help make this place and your life better. And so for me, when I'm going through adversity, it's okay. Like, say I have a bad game, things like that. I'm a lot of self-talk, not always the best, but because I expect a lot from myself, and I'll put myself down. I'll stress myself out, because I feel like when I stress myself out, it's when I put myself against that wall. I put my back against the wall. You got to figure out how to get through this. Yeah, you're uncomfortable. You should be uncomfortable because you sucked. Straight up. That's how it is. And that's even the light version of what some of these people say to me, if I have a bad game.
I can only imagine, man.